Is out now. That's it for today. I'll be back tomorrow with Only Fools and Horses star John Challis, Mrs. Billy Connolly, Pamela Stevenson, and this week's Celebrity MasterChef finalist, Michael Underwood. See you at 3. Bye-bye.
Give them a chance. Well, we don't know. We must. Well, whoever it was, with a gun, 7 or 8 shots to their bodies, and then a hand grenade thrown at them. Why should they live?
Well, I would argue that it demeans the state and each and every one of us to reduce our level, our powers, to that of the person who kills the police, that 2 wrongs don't make a right.
But I think Joe, you were going to say something, sorry.
No, I agree with what you're saying. I think it becomes a vicious circle if you start doing that and killing people who've killed people. And I think I agree with what you were saying about if they're going to do it, the cops, it should be everyone. But is it really going to stop people?
When you see the accounts of people going to their deaths in the United States, I never, ever watch those and feel any sense of, oh, good on George W. Bush, good on Texas, you know, for lethal injections that take minutes sometimes to kill people. I don't take any pride or any pleasure in what they're doing. I'm appalled by what they're doing.
If we go back to the details of the current case of the 2 WPCs who were shot, the answer to that case is surely not to drive a bigger wedge between the public and the police, which actually, treating them as a separate issue and allowing the death penalty for cop killing and not, for example, for murder is dangerous to do. The answer is better intelligence. And in the same week as the Hillsborough report, which has exposed the fact that police, in those cases, some of them did lie. This is not the time, I think, in terms of PR, at the very least, to give police more power. They don't want it anyway.
The deterrent aspect.
I don't think there is a deterrent, because the argument is, of course, if you put the death penalty for anything, that it's more likely that a police person would be killed rather than wounded, because you don't want to leave it, and you kill all the witnesses as well.
You'd also get suicide by cop, where people who feel very depressed. I mean, I think Raoul Moat was heading in that direction. When he shot PC David Rathbone.
I mean, we know that DNA has improved, but it's not foolproof. We've had a series back in the 70s, admittedly, of miscarriages of justice, and this time we'd have miscarriages of justice where people are actually executed. So actually, in terms of our trust in the police, I think it could only be a bad thing.
The deterrent aspect, I'll say again. I mean, Christopher, your first point was, why should someone who kills cops not suffer the ultimate penalty, be punished? Well, that's the punishment argument, I guess. The deterrent aspect, I mean, do you truly believe that the threat of execution would deter scumbags, cowardly scumbags, from attacking and killing police officers?
Sadly, no. I mean, I think you're absolutely right. But I mean, I think it might others. You see, it's 6 of one, half does the other. An eye for an eye, and a tooth for a tooth.
And the whole world goes blind.
Do you remember that phone call we had yesterday from somebody who said that they had to change their name, but they were well known within a certain area? And he made actually a point that many would disagree with, but coming from where he was coming from, you could see his point, which was that he was saying, hang on a second, if you've got innocent members of the public, and he used the word innocent, who are sometimes killed in custody, for example, or die in suspicious circumstances in custody at apparently police hand, and then nothing appears to be done to the police, and there are cases that happen, how can you then say, well, the police, if you kill a policeman, you get the death penalty? Because that's simply not fair.
You can't say that. I think you have to do one or the other, like I said earlier. You either have to... You can't just pick out on a police, I don't think, because I think that would be wrong. I think if you're going to bring the death penalty back, bring it back for everything. I mean, I'm saying this to be controversial, I suppose, this morning. I mean, I don't want people to die, but I do think it's an awful thing that those 2 girls were put into a few days ago, and it seems to me wrong that person, or whoever it may be, will just go and sit in a cell and will think about it, I suppose.
Well, you've got arguments of people that have spent long periods in prison, asking to be executed, asking to be left to die. Ian Brady relentlessly trying to kill himself. Why? Because I would imagine being kept locked up for the rest of your life does your head in and makes you regret perhaps what it is you've done. An execution, many people will argue, is letting them off the hook. It's all over. So, and it's particularly because I'm going to contradict myself ever so slightly here, because I couldn't tolerate the death penalty across the board for murder. And yet, in a very peculiar way, I could live, I suppose, with the notion of the death penalty for cop killers, because they are, as we know, having to lay down their lives with no ability to defend themselves against heinous villains, and I don't know. I don't know. There you go. A whiff of hypocrisy. I could entertain the idea, I think, of the death penalty for cop killers, but not across the board. Anyway, you've heard from us. After the break, we're going to hear from you. Do you support the restoration of the death penalty, specifically for those who kill police officers? 0207 173 5555 is the number if you care to let us know. Give us a call and we'll see you back here in 3.
When was the last British cop killer executed? Was it in 1919, 1959 or 1969? Find out after the break.